What's up, guys, gals, and Book Nook pals? It's Pluck the Bunny with video number 3 in our series on wiring and electronics in Book Nooks. You should see the mat looks exactly the same from where we left it, with one exception. I did forget to mention in the last video that you are going to need some kind of smart home enabled outlet, but that's only if you want to automate your Book Nooks. If you're just looking to switch over to manual battery power, then you can ignore this part. But I like to completely automate mine so I can turn them all on and off with one command. I think it's kind of majestic, so I use that, but it's optional. So we're going to move this to the side, because right now we have this powered by two AA batteries. And the thing about batteries is they are a finite resource. Now, you could use rechargeable batteries, but then every once in a while you have to swap out your old batteries with new ones and wait for them to charge and then plug them back in, and you're still using wall power anyway. But that doesn't solve the problem of automation. If you want to automate, especially if you followed the steps in the last video and we've eliminated the touch sensor, it can be cumbersome to have to open up each Book Nook and manually toggle the power switch on and off. So what is the solution to that? I'm going to put away our wire strippers. The solution to that, one of them anyway, is to pick up a battery eliminator. Okay, and what this is, it's a setup designed to replace actual batteries with AC power. So what is contained? We have this bag of dummy batteries, and we have this whole tangled mess of wires. So, and then we have some basic instructions, which we'll get to in a second. So this is our tree. Okay, this is a 1 to 10. But if you're just looking to do one Book Nook, you can do a 1 to 1. There's 1 to 3s. All right, but basically you have our power. All right, so it's one way to plug it in. Plugs in here, screws on, easy enough. Goes through a distributor box and then splits out into 10 of these tails. Each of these tails has a fake battery connected to AC power. Now you cannot just plug that battery in like so. Okay, you can tell, it's hard to tell, but one end is a little more pointed, one end is a little flatter. It's gonna be your positive and your negative. So you can't just plug it in like this and be done with it. Also, never mix it with an actual battery. You will get, that's how you burn your house down and battery acid in your face. So you can't plug it in just like this. It will not work. We are gonna have to fill that other spot. So basically the way it works is that in most of these kits, there are virtual batteries. It's not standard by manufacturer, but this is the most common configuration with the black and the yellow. So the black virtual batteries actually have a resistor in there, or some kind of voltage regulating circuit. I have one separated here for you. So you can see that there is a resistor in the middle of this. So that is important in the regulation of making sure the correct amount of current is going through your setup. I'm not going to get into explaining the science behind the electronics, because I don't know it well enough to explain it correctly without drawing what I'm sure will be a lot of corrections. So we're just going to explain what to do. So if you have so the black ones contain the resistor in them, the yellow ones are just a pass-through. So each black cell gives you additional voltage. So if you have a 3 battery compartment like this, all right, one black cell may give you 4.5 volts, but when you add a second one in, it only reduces it to 3 volts because you have the resistor in there. So thankfully this kit comes with a guide, but it's really simple. If you have a 2 battery box, the wired battery coming off the tree goes in the primary spot. And the primary spot's usually going to be the one closest to where the wires come in. So on this box, it would be here. On this box, it would be all the way to the left. Okay. If you have a 2 battery box, the other spot gets filled with a black dummy battery. If you have a 3 battery box, the other spots would both be filled with yellow batteries. So, because we want to not reduce the voltage going through, or the current, I'll see it again, I don't know the correct word. We want to not reduce the amount of electricity coming through the circuit, right? Because that's why we have a bigger battery box. So if we had 1, and then a black one that would be -1, and then a black one that would be -1. So if you put 2 black ones in here, it's actually be less power than 2 black ones in here. So our setup on this box would be yellow, negative, positive, yellow, negative, positive, and then we would take our wire coming off the tree, and it would be negative, positive. And that would be our setup, okay? That would be our setup for this box. All right, and then up here on this box, we would take 1 black battery, and that's gonna go in the secondary position, so that's gonna go negative, positive, and then we would take our battery off the connector, and we would plug it in like that. It's just that simple, okay? I know this looks like a huge mess of wires, but it's really not that complicated, okay? There's just 10 of these, all right? So if you're addicted to Book Nooks like I am, and you have 30 of them sitting on your shelf, you only need to buy 3 of these as opposed to 30 cables. This 1 to 10 cable costs about $30. When you break it down, that's $3 per Book Nook. It's really not that big of an investment, but I really enjoy it. So right now I have a smart outlet hooked up already, and I have a lamp unplugged. We're going to plug our plug into that outlet. So first we need to, one thing I don't like about these kits is they come wrapped around themselves instead of using like zip ties or twist ties or something. So unraveling them is a bit of a chore. Alright, so we're going to plug this into our smart outlet, which I already set up. Mine's an Alexa. I know, don't hate me, Amazon. I'm using Amazon. Alright. So I have power going to the outlet. I have one of our batteries coming off the tree. We have a second black battery in our secondary spot, and we are connected to our LED from the previous video. All right, our power switch can be set to on. Now, you'll notice the light is off, okay? But if I say, Alexa, outlet 4 on, I'm going to embarrass myself because the battery was not plugged the way. And I'm not redoing this 9-minute video. So if I say, Alexa, outlet 4 off, all right, it's going to turn the power to the outlet off. Alexa, outlet 4 on. Alexa, outlet 4 on. It's going to turn it on. I forgot the Alexa in the room I'm in is not called Alexa. It's called Ziggy, outlet 4 off. Which is why everything's conspiring against me today. Ziggy, outlet 4 off. There we go. All right, so that's pretty much it. Battery eliminators, daunting. A bag of 80 fake batteries. How do you use them? Recapping, very easy. If it's a 2-battery box, your primary battery coming off the device goes into the first spot. That's the spot where the wires are. If it's a 2-battery you can take a black one, and that's going to go in the second spot. Make sure it's all the way in so you don't embarrass yourself filming a YouTube video like I just did. If you're using a 3 battery box, it changes a little bit. Your primary battery goes into the primary spot, and then you're going to use yellow batteries, which don't have resistors in them, for your other 2 spots. Thank you for joining me. As with all the electrical videos, I hope you found this one illuminating. I'm Pluck the Bunny. Don't forget to join us over on the Book Nook subreddit, which is our Book Nooks. And have a wonderful day.